a little bit after 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get going. I am Cheryl Pop. Welcome to Sausalito Books by the Bay and our virtual beach party. I hope everybody has their adult beverage, their umbrella drink of choice. I'm drinking a dark and stormy, which I thought was highly appropriate based on the sort of books these authors write. Sounds like romance to me. We are really, really thrilled to have a great group of authors with us this evening from all over the country. Sacramento, the Pacific Northwest, Utah, North Carolina. They are all prolific bestsellers. I know that many of you know many of their books, you know them personally, and we're so delighted that they have joined us this afternoon for some of us, for our beach party, which promises to be extremely entertaining. It's not exactly tropical here in Sausalito today, but I'm in the spirit of it as best I can. I have my India Hicks Island living cologne on, my dark and stormy drink, my shell beads, and my hat and my dark glasses. So I know we're going to have a lot of fun. And at the end of this presentation, you're going to have an opportunity to ask all of our authors questions. We can unmute and you can talk to them. And of course, we would be happy. We ship anywhere in the US for free. So if any of you want to buy a book from us, any of their books, you just need to email us, email me. I'll put all that information in the chat box. Meanwhile, let us know where you're coming in from. What beach are you on right now? Tell us where you're coming from and put that in the chat box. It's always fun. So I am going to pass the baton, or the beach ball as the case may be. I tried to find one, but I couldn't. I'm going to pass the beach ball to our mistress of ceremonies, Sheila Roberts. Thank you.
And thank you. And more like mistress of mayhem, how all the crazy stuff that these gals like to do. But I want to thank my fellow authors. We have with us Brenda Novak, who was actually on the road and racing through a canyon to make sure that we could actually see her. So thank you,
I'm wearing
Brenda,
a pool dress.
We're so happy that you made it here. And I know I'm laying odds. There are a lot of Brenda Novak book club gals here. So I probably don't need to do too much in the way of introduction other than to say she is amazing. She's a huge bestseller. There's not a gal here who is not amazing. Well, that sounded with me too, I guess. Anyway, there's not fabulous. And Brenda is one of them. I know you're all familiar with her work. She's a huge bestseller. And so is RaeAnne. RaeAnne has done all kinds of really interesting books. And she is also a bestseller sitting there on the New York Times. And then we have Nancy Naigle, who I swear is the queen of Hallmark. She has got more Hallmark Christmas movies than I can even count on my fingers and toes. So these gals are just amazing. And it's funny, great minds must think alike because we all keep writing. It seems like we're all always writing a beach read or we're all writing a Christmas book. Well, right now we're in beach mode and we all have beach reads to talk about. And I know the gals will be willing to share with you a little bit about their books here in a little bit, but we're going to do some fun and games first. Now, I'm Sheila Roberts, by the way, and I'm a queen wannabe of Hallmark. I've had a couple of movies done, but I don't think I'm ever going to catch up with Nancy. But anyway, that's the way that goes. We do have, in addition to fun and games, we're going to be offering you some door prizes. First of all, can't do a party without games. At least that's how it is in Sheila world. And I do have some little prizes. They're still in the plastic, but so it's probably hard to tell what this is. Because these are wine stoppers. And when you put this little diver in the wine stopper, all that's left is your legs. So I have a couple of yellows and an orange. So I'm hoping we don't have too big of a tie. As I'm talking, by the way, you might want to grab a pencil and paper to have it handy because in a minute, we're going to be playing a little game and see if you can figure out. I'm going to give you some clues as to things you find at the beach. And then I'm going to expect you guys to figure out what I'm talking about. So that could get kind of interesting, huh? So in addition to some little game prizes and our game, we also are going to be doing door prizes. And so Brenda, let's start with you. What's your door prize?
I thought that what I would do is, I know this is a beach party, so I should have got a little closer to the beach theme, but what I'm most excited about is the new Brenda Novak limited edition, Brenda Novak and Debbie Maycomber limited edition Christmas ornament. Because we just got the prototype for it and it's beautiful. I love it. It's a stack of our books. Last year's was a cute little bookstore that is the bookstore in my beach read from last year. And then this year it's a stack of our books. So I wanted to give one of those away. I thought that that would be a fun gift item, and also a $25 gift certificate to Sausalito Books by the Bay.
So cool. Now, Brenda, I must ask, between the two of you, what is this, a 6-foot tall ornament? Because you guys have read a million books. I mean, how did you fit all those in an ornament?
Well, we did limit it to 4 each. So there's 4 each, and we got to choose our favorite titles or ones that were more Christmas related. So
okay. All right, because I'm trying to envision squishing all of your books in an ornament. So that's pretty cool. What a neat gift. And,
yeah, it's really cool. It's made by the company that does the White House ornaments. That's how I decided to do ornaments every year, because I collect them. So I loved how clever they were getting with their White House ornaments. And so I thought, I wonder if they could do this for Debbie and I. So yeah.
Great idea. I love
so
that.
cool.
How about you, Miss Nancy? What exciting thing are you planning to give away?
I have 2 beach bags. I have a Scout beach bag that's waterproof. And then I have the Fisher's Finery, which is a bigger flat bottom, but they're both waterproof to take to the beach. And I will be filling that with an autographed copy of the trade paperback for the Shell Collector. So 2 prizes.
Very cool. That is fabulous. Fun. And RaeAnne, what are you giving away?
So I have a pair of very cute starfish earrings, and I was going to grab them and show them, and I couldn't find them very quickly right before we started. So they're very cute. And then also a $25 gift card to the bookstore.
That is very, very cool. We love to support our local bookstores, and we love Cheryl. Cheryl has done some things with us in the past, and we're big Cheryl fans. We just appreciate her having us back again, letting us come and crash the store. Maybe someday we'll get to be there in person. I'm going to be giving away, I don't know how well this will show up, but I have this cute little starfish necklace. Oopsie. They have little beads in them. I'm trying to get it with the bead side up, but it's not cooperating. Anyway, so I'm giving away this little, it's quite, I've got it on sale at my favorite beach place that I buy my jewelry at, but it's about a $40 value. So it's a really nice little bracelet that somebody will be getting. And so that's my door prize. And at the end of this, Cheryl will be drawing names. And Cheryl, how do you plan to do that? Are you just going to send an email to people? Are you going to announce it?
Yes. Well, what I do is I randomly, I close my eyes and I go around and I go up and down the list, because we have a list of everybody who has joined us this evening, and I'll wait until the very end, of course, so because people can come in at any time. And then, yeah, we have everyone's email address, so we will let them know. We'll let the authors know who won. We'll let you know, the winners know, and it's very random, so it's fun. And we also, I will let you know that we are recording this, and you will get a copy of this entire presentation as well. So we'll be following up with everybody.
Fun. Well, very fun. So we have some goodies in store for you all, obviously then. And so let's just kick it off now. As I said before, I want you to grab a pencil and paper, or have your laptop or your notebook or your cell phone handy, so you can be ready to write answers to this fabulous game that we are going to do. Make sure I am on track here. I even have a list of to-do things, because I don't want to mess up and miss out on anybody or anything for our party here. So we're going to start though with our little game. This is things you might find at the beach. And some of you have been to these parties before and played some of these crazy games. And you know that sometimes when I'm doing this, I stretch it just a little bit. So you might have to get kind of creative here. But I think most of these are pretty easy. We'll see what you guys think when we do it. So kind of everybody raise a little hand signal or something if you got your pen and pencil or your whatever ready, so we can just see them. We'll just kind of scroll along here. Nod your head, grin, wave at me. I see heads nodding. Okay, I see heads. I see hands. I see all kinds of faces. Guys, we just want to thank you for coming and joining us. This is so special, and we love our readers. I hope you guys know how much we all appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what we'd do with ourselves. Who would listen to our stories? So we appreciate you hugely. Okay, we ready? And my authors, I hope you're ready too, girls, because I'm going to be Brenda scrambling now, looking around. I caught her, didn't I? Poor thing. I want to bug my friends too and see how well they did. That way we can, we can embarrass them in front of all of you, because isn't that a fun thing to do?
Oh, no.
Brenda's like, oh, Sheila, I'm going to ring your neck. All right, so here we go. Here's number one. This is, again, things you're going to find at the beach. Nature's jewelry box. Nature's jewelry box. What would that be? It's something beachy.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one. Number
Clam
two.
or oyster?
Yeah, oh yeah, I should say, don't anybody say the answer.
Clam. Oysters?
Don't say anything. Somebody mute yourselves,
I
girl
thought
and
that
girls.
they were in clams.
Cheryl, make sure everybody's muted so they'll give away the answers. Okay, number two, don't anybody say the answer out loud, think it in your head, and don't post it, don't print it. Number two, something, someone cranky. Again, don't post the answer, don't say it.
One cranky
Keep
crab.
keep it top secret.
Everybody,
That's
should
somebody who's,
everybody should mute themselves until the very end, except for the authors.
yeah, girls, are you all muted? You all know how to do that? Okay, let's make sure we're all muted because we've got. Okay, it looks like everybody is pretty much muted now. Okay, so no answer sharing. Okay, number three, someone might meet at Starbucks. Someone you might meet at Starbucks. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. I'll reach my hand through there and.
I don't know. Don't know.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud.
I missed two.
Don't say it out loud. Okay, number four, something with true grit. Something with true grit. That might be a hard one, but I want to challenge you a little bit.
I think that's the only one I've gotten so far.
Oh no. Okay. Number five, this has possibilities. I have a couple of different things I'll take for an answer. So number five is a skin shield. A skin shield. I'll take two different answers I'll take. Don't say them out loud. Oh, you guys are getting so well trained now. Just keep your cute little lips shut. Okay, number six, something hovering above you. Something hovering above you at the beach. Cheryl just looks so cute. I'm getting distracted looking about how cute she looks. Oh my goodness.
I love that hat.
I do too. I just love your eye makeup. Gosh, I want eye makeup lessons if I ever see you in person. Okay, that was number, where am I? Number six. Now, number seven. Something you can also find at Sausalito Books by the Bay. Something you can also find at Sausalito Books by the Bay. That was number seven. Okay, moving on to number eight. By the way, if you feel like you've missed one, don't worry. I'm going to circle back and I'll read them all one more time. So number eight, someone's durable little home. Someone's durable little home. That's number eight. Someone's durable little home. Number nine, someone who might spit at you. Someone who might spit at you. Now, all of you who live at the beach probably won't have a hard time getting that. Some of you who are not beachcombers might have a struggle with that one. Okay, that was number nine. Number 10, something sharp on a rock. Something sharp on a rock. RaeAnne is thinking, I can see her thinking.
Baffled.
Oh dear, I hear her thinking, I guess it's always easy when you're making up the answers, huh?
That's right.
Okay, so number 10 was something sharp on a rock.
What's something that might spit at you?
Yeah, I know, but don't say it out loud.
Oh,
Okay, now number 11, something for sushi. Something for sushi. That was number 11. Something for sushi.
I have no idea.
I know that one.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
That one
that's
I
good.
got. I
Don't
ate half of
anybody
it.
share. Okay, at least not yet, not till we're asking for answers. Then I'll give you a chance to share. Okay, number 12, something you can't drink, something you cannot drink that you would find at the beach. Think of a famous literary saying, if that helps. Maybe that didn't help. I probably got you more confused. Something at the beach that's everywhere, but you can't drink. That was a big clue. Okay, number 13. Someone who will fight over your fries. Someone who will fight over your fries.
I know that one.
There's a certain Disney movie. No, I don't think it was Pixar, I think. A certain Pixar movie with this little something in it. So something who will fight over your fries. Mine. That was a really big clue. Okay, ladies, I'm going to run them down one more time for you in case you didn't get the first time around. Number 1 was nature's jewelry box. That was number 1. We want to know what that is. Number 2, someone cranky. Number 3, someone you might meet at Starbucks. Number 4, something with true grit. Number 5, a skin shield. Number 6, something hovering above you. Number 7 was something that you can also find at Sausalito Books by the Bay. Number 8 was someone's durable little home. Number 9 was someone who might spit at you. Number 10 was something sharp on a rock. Number 11, something for sushi. Number 12 was something you can't drink. And number 13 was someone who will fight over your fries. So there we have it, ladies. Now you actually get to, if you want to talk or raise a hand or type your answer in, you can also type in your answer if you feel like you got it. So number 1, who thinks they got that? Either type it or shout it out or whatever. How did my authors do? Did my authors get it?
Oysters.
Yep,
Yep.
I see somebody
Oyster
put
shell.
oyster.
Yep.
There
Oyster.
you go. Because
I got that one.
All right, did all my authors get them?
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Woohoo! Okay, how about someone cranky?
A crab.
Yes,
Crab.
yep, I see
I got
crab.
that
I see
one.
lots of crabs. Crab. Very good,
Got
ladies.
that one.
Somebody said me. Oh, that was funny. A toddler who needs a nap. Hopefully you have not dragged that poor toddler to the beach when they need a nap. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, someone you might meet at Starbucks.
A mermaid.
There you go. Who said that? Who got that? The mermaid, right? She's on every mug. That's
She
the
is. I got that wrong. I put starfish.
I did too,
Oh,
Nancy. That's all I could
yes.
think of.
I did too.
Okay, how about the true grit one? I know one of you said I got that. Sand. Somebody said sand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got that
All of
one.
you who said sand, give yourselves a pat on the head.
Darn, I put oyster because isn't that the grit that makes the pearl?
You know what? We should give that to her, right? Because she's an author. We're gonna give you a pity point, Nancy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, how about the skin shield? I have 2 different things I'll take. Someone said sunscreen. Yes, sunscreen. One other one.
Oh,
Wetsuit.
Knee pad, rash guard. I hadn't heard of that. Sunblocks. Yeah, sunblock. If anybody also said like a beach umbrella.
Oh, I put wetsuit.
That works.
Wow.
Do we need
Now
to give
that's a
Brenda a
blocker.
pity point to you guys? If you guys say it, I'll give Brenda a pity point.
Come on, guys. Pity point.
I will give you a pity point. None of the rest of you get. I'm only giving pity points to the authors. I just want you guys to know. Okay,
Something that we should
where
give
am
credit to the rash guard.
the rash guard. Well, you know what? Actually, that is a good one. I don't even know what that is, but all right. Whoever said rash guard, we're giving you that. Okay, something hovering above you. Who got that?
sun.
Oh, birds. That's a good one. You know what? I'll take birds too. It's not what I'm looking for though.
Well,
Umbrella?
originally I had seagull, but then I changed that because you had it in other answers.
I saw
Exactly.
kite.
I got it twice.
I saw kite. Judy Christina says kite. Who else got kite? Kite.
Dragonflies.
Clouds. You know what, guys? I'll take clouds too. I'll take a kite, I'll take clouds or birds. How about that?
How
But I
about
was thinking
sun?
kite.
Sun?
What? Sun,
Sun.
like as in sunshine? You know what? I will give that to you because I'm just so nice today and I'm not a crab,
Oh,
but I'm not putting it on my official answer sheet. Okay, you guys, I'm sure you all got this one. Something you can also find at Sausalito Books by the Bay.
Books.
Aha, yep, books. I see books. I'm looking for books because we're talking about beach reads. So if you got book, give yourself a check mark that you got it right. Okay, now the durable little home. Who got that? Someone's
Conch
durable
shell.
little home. Yes, I'll take any kind of shell. Snail shell, conch shell, clam shell, oyster shell. It's got to have the word shell in it. If you have the word shell in your answer, give yourself a gold star because that's what we're looking for. Okay, now this, again, if you don't happen to live at the beach, you might not know this one, but did anybody get someone who might spit at you?
Piss clams.
Clams, you're right. If you lived at the beach, when I was a kid, we would like go out on the tide flats and you'd see their little holes and you kind of step near it and they'd get mad and spit at you. And sometimes you just accidentally walk past one, they'd give you a little spit in the bottom. So yeah, clams will spit. Okay, something sharp on a rock.
Barnacles.
Barnacles.
Yes, all you barnacle girls have got it. Give yourselves a check mark that you got that one right. Barnacles. And something for sushi. I'm guessing most of you got that too. What do you wrap your sushi in? Seaweed. Everybody said seaweed. Seaweed is what we're looking for.
Not fish.
Fish work too. I mean, you need that.
Did you put fish? Okay, we'll take, you know what? I'll take fish too. You can see how much sushi I eat. I'm not a sushi girl, but you're right. Cause raw fish, right? Don't they do raw fish in sushi? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
they can do cooked crab and other things too.
yeah, sushi.
Pepper
Okay,
shrimp.
I'm saying tuna. Okay, cooked crab. Okay, all of those were taken then. I'm gonna make a note for myself too. You put crab in sushi? Really? I see, I didn't know.
Oh,
Crab
you would
meat,
be
yeah.
amazed at the list.
Oh my, oh
Eel,
goodness.
octopus.
Octopus, okay,
Any of
octopus.
those little
You know,
suckers.
the
Yeah.
sky's the limit. Eel, okay, I'm seeing eel. Avocado, except
Yeah.
except we don't
Cucumber,
find
but that's not-
avocados at the beach. We're looking for things we actually find at the beach, unless somebody, you know, like snuck a avocado onto the beach in their beach bag. But basically we're looking for seafoody kind of thing.
Okay.
So, all right, so if you got some kind of seafoody thing or seaweed, you're good to go. Now, I'm hoping you all got this one, something that you cannot drink.
Salt water.
Yes, I saw it. Salt water, seawater, ocean water, any kind of water that has to do with the sea. That's a point for you. Remember that? What book was that? Was that from, who did the water everywhere, not a drop to drink? Was that the Ancient Mariner? Anybody remember what that's
Yes,
from?
I'm in the Ancient Mariner.
Okay, from the Ancient Mariner. Okay, very good. Okay, and the last one, someone who will fight over your fries.
Birds.
Seagulls.
Seagulls, you guys who said seagulls got it. All right.
That
So
was
that
so
is-
fun.
That is
I
13.
put my husband.
Oh, I love it. Somebody said kids.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's too funny. Okay, so who all got 13? Anybody get all 13? I'm hoping I have enough gifts for everybody. Otherwise, I'm going to be in deep doo. Okay, Heather Neely says 13. Anybody besides Heather Neely? Who else? I'm looking for a 13. 13. Anybody and help me look. Oh, there's another one just came through. Who said that?
Linda Well is radiant. I think
Melinda
that's how you say it.
Haynes.
Yeah, Linda
and
Way. Yeah.
Say it
Nine.
again,
I
Linda.
did.
Linda,
Yes,
pop up
Linda
your name
Y.
again so I can write you down.
Mary McCoy.
WEIH.
I've lost it. Help me out here, guys.
I saw
W-
Melinda Haynes. Got
I
one.
got, Melinda
Michelle
Haynes,
Devon-
thank
no.
you.
And
Melinda
Linda
Haynes.
Way, WEIH. I saw her waving. her
And Mary
13.
McCoy and
Yeah.
Heather Neely
Okay, Mary McCoy, Heather Neely. Okay.
and Melinda Haynes.
Melinda Hayes, Heather,
Haynes, Haynes.
that was Melinda, right?
Melinda Haynes.
And Heather who?
That was the first one. Heather Neely, Nealy,
Okay,
and then Mary McCoy.
and Mary McCoy. Okay, those are the first three that came through. Since I
Way
only
to
have
go, girls.
3 wine stops. So we took the first 3 we found. I really apologize if somebody got lost in that shuffle. Sorry, but the rest of you gals, I need you to hop on over, either message me on my Sheila Roberts like page, email me at my website, SheilaRoberts@sheilasplace.com, or let Cheryl know. Somehow somebody let me know a physical snail mail mailing address for you, and I will get these in the mail to you. So that was fun. Thank you for playing that game, you guys. Appreciate that. And now we actually, since we've all written beach reads, wanted the gals to have a chance to share some of their ideas for fun and games at the beach, or what they do at the beach. It's kind of a free for all discussion time here, but we thought it would be fun to just do a little bit of beach discussing. And I'm going to actually, which sounds very self-serving, start with myself, only because I'm going to put this recipe away after I've talked. So, and I can do that while you girls are talking. But I wanted to share, for me, wherever I am, I just like to be partying, because that's just my idea of a fun time. And when you have a party, you have to have food, because food is like my favorite thing. F-O-O-D. Oh, it is a 4-letter word. Oh dear. Anyway, food sometimes gets me in trouble, and I have the hips to prove it. But I wanted to show you this really cool recipe, and I posted this on the Sheila Roberts website, sheilasplace.com. And so if you miss it as I'm telling you all this, you can go there to the recipe page and get the recipe. I'll see if I can show you this picture of this without dropping it on my computer. Now, how do I know? Where am I? Sorry. You'd think by now I would be such a Zoom. Oh, there. Okay. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay. Can you all kind of see that? So this is shrimp dip. And I always try to do a fancy recipe card and a recipe that goes with every book I do. This was the one that came out for my beach read. My street team always gets one. When we do book events, a lot of times I give them away. I happen to have run out this time. I think Cheryl actually has a copy of this that I sent her, but I want you all to be able to get the recipe too. So that's why it's on the website. I'll really quickly tell you what's in it. It's very easy to make. You want an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. And if you want to do the light on the fat one, you can do that either way. It doesn't matter. 1.5 tablespoons of sour cream. Then you're going to add in a 1/2 cup of chopped celery, finely chopped, and a 1/4 cup of chopped onion, just enough to give you a little heat there, and a 3/4 cup of chopped black olives. And then you want to add a cup of chopped cooked shrimp. I think when I did the recipe card, I forgot to put cooked in there. So I thought, oh my, some people are probably making sushi dip. But anyway, so I prefer my shrimp cooked, and I'm not advising anybody to do this with raw shrimp. So cooked shrimp, and you can add a little more too if you want, because it is shrimp dip. So if you want to go a little crazy with the shrimp, you sure have my permission. By the way, I know a lot of you probably are allergic to shellfish, or you don't like shrimp or whatever. You can also, if you want to, substitute smoked salmon for the dip. So, or you could just add in artichokes and make it totally vegetarian. But I happen to love shrimp dip, so I use the shrimp. Then after that, you want a dash of Worcestershire sauce and dill to taste, dill weed. And it's just really easy to make. You get your cream cheese up to room temperature so you can work with it, and you mix that with your sour cream, and then you just fold in all the other ingredients and chill, and you're ready to go. And it just is so delicious. I love it with Ritz crackers. Great for a party to serve. It's a really fun party dish. So even if you can't get to the beach, you can bring the beach to you. So that is my recipe. And now I'm going to let Brenda go ahead and do some talking. So Brenda, the floor is yours.
Oh, well, I wanted to make everybody aware of, I have several taste books that my daughter has actually created for me, and you can download the digital version for free from my website. There's one that has all of my favorite treats that are recipes of my family that I grew up with, that my sister, many of them came from my sister actually, who's as big a sweet tooth as I am. So you can go there and get my favorite treats. There's one that's all these different cupcakes in a mug. There's one that's all about doing a mac and cheese bar. We went to Philadelphia and we went to this amazing place that had this mac and cheese bar, and we enjoyed it so much that she thought, I'm going to do this in a taste book for our book group. So she has been working hard, and she's really good at graphic design, and has put together these really cute taste books. So definitely go on my website, download that. my experience as far as beach goes, that we don't have anything specifically for the beach, but I wanted to tell everybody that my favorite visit to the beach is an annual visit that I do with a group of other authors. And of course, with COVID, we haven't been able to get there. So I'm really missing it. But what's beautiful about it is it's an escape from our normal lives. And there's like 16 authors, and we get in this gigantic beach house in San Diego. And would you believe there's a room for everybody in these?
Wow.
Yeah, like I didn't know they made them that big until I did this. And we just sit around and talk and brainstorm and help each other with books, or go off in our own little room and have some privacy away from family and other pressures, where we just write and write and write. Or, we go walking along the beach and take pictures in the evening and get together and have a big dinner at all the different various restaurants. And so anyway, it's just such a wonderful escape for an author. And we come home armed with really cool ideas that other people are doing for promotion and some different collaborations. And it just kind of gives me this boost of energy and excitement, this creative energy that gets me excited every year. So I was so sad that we weren't able to do it. And I'm hoping that next January, we did it in January last time. So I'm hoping next January we'll be able to do that again. So the beach to me means this special trip that I really enjoy.
Very cool. And by the way, you guys, circling back to Brenda's taste book, I actually did download that and tried one of the recipes, and it was just fabulous. And it's really nice because she's got this one cupcake in a mug. And so it's just like, if you just want to have a moment of indulgence, you can just do this one, it's like just one little piece and then it's gone. So it's really nice to be able to do that, that cake in the mug. And
yeah, we also have a cute pink mug that you can get through my website that comes with the taste book if you actually want the mug too. I'm either way, but they're super cute. It says something like a cupcake is a muffin that believed in itself or something.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
So, yeah,
I love
they're
that.
cute for little birthday packages we put together.
Oh, very, very fun. So that's really cool. RaeAnne, how about you when it comes to the beach? What do you think of when you think beach? I mean, you're kind of in a beach there in Utah, only without the water. You got the sand part, right?
It's an ancient ocean.
And I'm very landlocked in Utah, but we have to go to the beach at least, once a year. And I also go with writer friends once a year, and I've really missed that this year. Last year anyway. But we have a gorgeous lake near us that lots of people in our whole state go to. It's called Bear Lake, and it's like, looks like the Caribbean. It looks like that beach behind me. It really does, except we don't have palm trees. And so we try to get there when we can. It's about an hour from where I live, but people from all over the state come to Bear Lake because it's this huge lake and it's really fun for families. But one of my favorite little tips for the beach, and this is not unique to me, I don't know where I read it, but it's a great idea, I think. And we do this also when we go camping or when we go on road trips or whatever, is you buy a bag of those Hawaiian sweet rolls, sweet bread that you can buy in a bag. You take the whole thing out that's all connected together, and you cut it in half perpendicularly. I don't know what you would call that, but here's the
Horizontal.
Yeah, you cut it in half, and then you layer it with cold cuts and cheese or whatever you would normally put on a sandwich. We usually don't put like mayo or whatever, because we're going to be putting it back in the bag all together like it is. And then when you just need a snack, you just pull off one of the little pieces of it. But you can cut it so that it's, easier to pull apart with the meat and everything. And then you stick it right back in the bag and just put it in your cooler, and it's good to go. And it's a nice little sweet snack, and it's delicious and fills you up.
Wonderful.
I like that idea. That sounds like a really good idea. I should mention, Sheila, someone said she's having a hard time hearing, but I'm assuming that's probably Zoom or something, because I think everybody else, I don't see anybody else saying anything about having a hard time hearing. So maybe check her connection, would you say? So everybody else, I mean, I don't see anybody else saying can't hear.
And you can, if you go to the bottom left, as you're looking at your screen, where there's a microphone and it says mute, make sure that it's turned up all the way. If you click on that, make sure that, you're on computer audio, and that you've also in your overall laptop or computer, that the noise level is all the way up. Sometimes that's an issue.
Okay, okay, so yeah, just sometimes this is being able to do these things virtually is just a bit of a blessing and a curse all at once. It's so lovely because we can visit with so many of you across the country this way, where we just normally wouldn't be able to physically get to all of you, but sometimes then we do have to wrestle with these little technical difficulties that come up. So we appreciate your patience when it comes to that. So, okay, RaeAnne, Nancy, what are your thoughts when it comes? Now, Nancy's a horsewoman. She is a country girl, I know, but I know
And
she's.
I'm going to admit, when you talked about the beach creature that would spit at you, the first thing that popped in my mind was a llama. And I knew that wasn't a beach creature. But, you know, I grew up on the beach. I grew up in Virginia Beach. And so, you know, we spent all our time on the beach, but mostly in the summer, we didn't go to our beach because it's a tourist town. So we would go to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And so a few of my books are set on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's my favorite beach, and no different with The Shell Collector, that just came out. And yeah, I got to relive a lot of my childhood adventures on the beach in this book. You know, my brother and I used to do sand castles, and you know, in the beginning we would get the big cups and the, you know, boxes and, you know, pans or whatever we could to make those big pretty sand castles. And then we discovered drip castles, you know, where you get the sand really wet and kind of drip it upon itself, and you could actually make things into like an archway and defy gravity.
Oh,
And we just loved it so much. And
wow.
so yeah, I had a lot of fun just reliving those childhood moments. Even, you know, the sand would be so hot that we would take our towels and throw them in front of us and then run to the towel, and then let our feet cool and then throw our towel and run forward again to get over
Wow.
the dunes to the water. And then we would sprint to the water.
Wow.
But yeah, I just love the beach. And, you know, now I'm in the mountains. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we have a pond. So now I guess I'm more on RaeAnne's level, and, you know, enjoying the pond. And we have a little John boat down there. It's just a little 1 acre pond, but we've got a fishing camp down there, and it's stocked and a lot of fun. But I do love the beach.
Very cool. Well, since you happen to mention the Shell Collector, I want to circle back, and of course, because we are celebrating the fact that we have beach reads out right now. And RaeAnne, Nancy, I'd like to circle back again to the Shell Collector. And I don't know if you're all open to sharing anything of why you decided you want to write that book, but if would you like to share a little bit about the book, we would love to hear.
Oh, I'd love to. You know, that story was inspired by a true event that happened to a friend of our family, and she lived on the Outer Banks out in Kill Devil Hills, and she used to walk the beach every day. And one of the days she's walking the beach and had something really heavy on her heart, and as she's walking, she kicked up a shell. And when she picked up the shell, there was a scripture written inside, and it was just the right thing for that moment. It really lifted her heart and gave her hope. And that wasn't the only shell she found. Over a 6-year period, she found 4 different shells, not all scriptures. Some just had a note, you know, just like a, you know, have a wonderful day kind of note. But still, you know, very uplifting. And she never knew anybody else to have one. Well, my cousin had told me that story, and she and I were really close, and she had been fighting cancer for years. And then, of course, my husband was diagnosed with cancer at the end of October in 2013, and I lost him in January 2014. And 5 weeks later, I lost that cousin that had shared that story with me, and we had shared so much time talking about that, you know, what had happened with a friend of our family. And I could have used a bucket of those shells that year to get through it, I'll tell you. But that story really stuck with me. And over the years, that happened in 2014. This book didn't come out till this year. But this story of Maeve walking the beach and this beautiful, you know, kind of Outer Banks type island, Welks Island, just became so real to me. And it's a story of hope and second chances and starting over and cross-generational friendships that really build and help people transition from one place to another in their lives. And there's a lot of fun in the story as well. But there are definitely some, you know, grab your tissues, you'll probably need them. But this story is so special to me. And I hope that, you know, we all go through grief in our lives, but, you know, there's just no one way to get through it. So I hope that, you know, anybody that's gone through it will, you know, feel a little camaraderie through it, that, you know, they weren't the only one that had felt some of those feelings. And for those of us that haven't gone through it yet, I hope that this story echoes in the back of your mind and helps you get through it a little more easily.
That's beautifully said. And it is a very encouraging book. And I think it's really important for us to remember that, I mean, we all go through storms, but they don't last forever. And God usually has a wonderful way of bringing us through them and providing a rainbow at the end of the storm. And Nancy, I know you're tearing up now, but
But you know what?
can you
But
tell us
yes,
about
but
the
I've had a-
rainbow at the
I've
end of
had,
your
yes,
story?
I've had a Hallmark ending. I got married, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, to a wonderful man. He's a good Christian guy, and we have a beautiful life. I have a little 8-year-old stepson now, and we ride horses and do things together. It's wonderful. So, but I had never thought I would ever love again. So you'll be amazed what can happen through the storms.
You are like your own romance novel. I mean,
I
it's
am.
just, it's really cool. And this
Yeah.
book, by the way, it really is women's fiction with some romance thrown in. It's
Yeah.
so it's got a very broad spectrum as far as the subject matter
Yeah,
goes.
and the shell quotes I just love that are in the story. And if you go to nancynaigle.com, the shell collector, you can download little cards with all the little sayings, or 5 of my favorite sayings anyway, from those shells. And there's some other little things from the book you can download for free. So hope
Very
y'all will check that
cool.
out.
Very exciting. And RaeAnne always writes a great beach read. RaeAnne, do you want to tell us a little about, for somebody that maybe hasn't had a chance to pick your book up yet, what are they going to find in the latest RaeAnne Thayne book?
So I was talking about, oh, you can't see it because of my screen, but The Path to Sunshine Cove, which was my April book. But I also had a book out this summer, Brambleberry Summer, which is set in Cannon Beach. So I have a lot of beach books going on right now. So I have a couple of things that are beachy, but The Path to Sunshine Cove, if you haven't had a chance to read that, is a standalone book. I have a kind of a loosely connected series called Cape Sanctuary, and they're only connected because it's all set in the same place. There's no character interaction between the books, or no through line in the plot or anything like that. But I just have this fictional place in California, that beach that I've created, and this book was set there. And it also has quite a lot of beachy things that I love. There's surfing in it, which I don't surf, but I like the idea of surfing. I like watching them, and also building sandcastles and all kinds of different fun things in mine as well. And it features 2 sisters, and they've basically had their lives, they had trauma when they were teenagers, and they dealt with it very differently. One of them is all about family and connections, and the other one has shut all of those things off in her life and very much loves her life on the run. Not really running away, but she likes to move from place to place, doesn't want to put down roots. And so basically this book is sort of them connecting with each other, but there is also romance in it. It's about family. It's about dealing with challenges as well in your marriage. The one sister who's all about home and family has sort of some difficult things happening in their life and their family, and so she has to sort of come to terms with those things. And I wrote it during the pandemic. I think it was the one that I started and ended. I've had other ones that I wrote 3 books during the rough lockdown. But there are a lot of emotional things that came out in me as I was writing this book, just about dealing with challenges and the way your life doesn't turn out the way you planned it all the time, but you can still have a beautiful life, even if it's not exactly what you set out to create in your life.
That's great. And that is really an excellent book. And RaeAnne is definitely, she's had some challenges in her life, and is really a great example of how to just continue walking the path that you're set and doing what you're put here to do. And after reading that book, I wanted to get an Airstream. I still want to get, I don't like camping, I don't like trailers, but I want an Airstream. It's a really fun book. So, and Brenda has written like the big, fabulous beach read here with her new book. And I know that book has done very well, Brenda, but there might be one living person on the planet who hasn't read it yet. So do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about that book?
Well, I actually have 2 beach reads out, so maybe I'll just focus a little more on the second one. But the first one I think you're talking about is The Bookstore on the Beach.
Yes.
And that's more women's fiction, and it's kind of a broader canvas, a bigger canvas. But I did just have a romance come out called When I Found You. And it has a fabulous, if you haven't seen it, I'm traveling. Sorry, guys, that's why I'm in my car. My I've got some emergency things I've had to do for her. So I don't happen to have a book to show you the cover, but it's beautiful. It's got flip-flops.
Oh, there we go. There's a book
Cheryl's
cover.
got me covered.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you so much. Anyway, it's called When I Found You. And it's a very it was an exciting book for me to write because when I was writing my Whiskey Creek series, my publisher was like, they shifted away from it before I was ready. I really wanted to write like 3 or 4 more, and they're like, no, we want to give you a new cover treatment and we need to do something fresh and we'll go out this way. And so I love the new cover treatment. If you guys have seen my Silver Springs books, they're gorgeous, and this is one of them. And so that's an example of the great cover. But I still had a storyline that dealt with the paternity of my favorite character and most people's favorite character from Whiskey Creek. And so I was getting bombarded with these emails. Are you going to write, is Dylan ever going to find out what happened? And so I was in the back of my mind thinking, I really want to write this story. So when I pitched this story as a Silver Springs book, I wanted to bring a character from Whiskey Creek into Silver Springs so that I could finish up that storyline. And they actually really liked the idea, and I was able to bring these 2 series together. And so I was able to go back to the Amos brothers, which, like I said, are some of my most popular characters, especially Dylan. So this story focuses on Mac, his littlest brother, but it does cover the paternity of Dylan's baby. And so that question is that loop is finally closed. And also I got the idea for the book by watching a Dateline episode where a woman who was just this innocent pediatrician, and she was just getting out and starting her practice, and she was super excited to get started, and she hires this nurse to help her. And in the first 2 weeks of her actually being open, or the first 2 months, they had to keep calling the ambulance for these emergencies for these babies, and she knew that was highly unusual and weird. And anyway, she finds out that her nurse has been doing something terrible, so it wrecks her whole attempt to open up this pediatric office and launch, her career. And so she's, after really trying hard and making good from a difficult background, she had to restart. And so Mac, of course, has always had a thing for Natasha, and he comes to try and see what he can do to help her put her life back together, and things sort of take off from there. So anyway, I have 2 beach reads if you're in the mood for a lot of reading. Hopefully you'll grab both of them.
Yeah, one for each hand, you guys. So buy them both. Very cool. Well, I have my one that came out this year was part of my Moonlight Harbor series. And Moonlight Harbor is a little town that I created that's based on Ocean Shores, Washington, which is where we have some beach digs. And we just love it here. The people here are so nice and friendly, and everybody's happy to be here. And so it's a very fun kind of escape place. And I've got kind of an anchor character, Jenna, who runs the Driftwood Inn, who has been trying to get her love life together for several books. And so in this one, she kind of finally makes her big decision on what guy she's going to choose. So this one is very, there are some other, obviously some other things going on, and a couple of kind of sad moments in there too, because it's got some women's fiction overtones. But one of the fun things we did for that book, and you can still find the trailer if you again go to my sheilasplace.com, to my website. On one of the pages there, we have the book trailer. We did a little contest on which man should Jenna choose, even though I already knew. It was like, should she choose Seth or Brody? And we did a cute little book trailer for that. And the guys I used for that, one of them was the cute little guy who I've decided to adopt, who does the music for our church down here. And he wanted to be, he was so excited because he got to hang around and look brooding. He wanted to look brooding. So he was one. And then our son played the other guy. And so we had so much fun with those boys taking pictures. And it was right kind of at the height of COVID. And so we did this in like December. And so these poor guys, it's for a summer read, and they're out there on the beach, freezing to death, in just their little sweaters. But my son is pretty funny. He's wearing his sweater with reindeer on it. We didn't think that through very clearly. But anyway, so that's that one. And I really enjoyed doing that series. And many people thought this was the end of the series because, the main heroine has kind of got her love life figured out. But you have a love loser, and that person has to get their life figured out, right? And it's a whole town with lots of characters. So there's always a story to tell when you're writing about life in a town. So that's my beach read, and it's a fun one. And I think maybe if you haven't read anything in this series, you might actually start with Welcome to Moonlight Harbor, or The Summer Retreat, or one of the little bit earlier books, just so you can meet a few of the characters in the town before you get to that, because otherwise it's a teeny bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm very happy with that book, and happy with how it's doing, and I'm happy with this series. And so that's that in a nutshell. And one more thing though, I know Cheryl's going to open this up for questions for a little while, but before we do, I thought maybe we would just mention upcoming books because, well, we are writers and there's always a book in the pipeline, and Christmas is right around the corner. I know a lot of you probably celebrated Christmas in July, but I thought maybe it would be fun for us to have a chance to talk about what's coming around the corner. I know we all have Christmas books coming up. So let us this time start with RaeAnne.
Okay. I do have a book. It's called Sleigh Bells Ring, and it's backwards. Sorry about that. But it's coming out the end of October, and it's a standalone Christmas book again. I had one last year that was a standalone. This one is set in Star Valley, Wyoming, which is not very far from where I live, a couple hours from where I live, at a beautiful town, about an hour from Jackson Hole. And so if you've been to the Tetons, it's sort of before you get to the Tetons, if you come up a certain way, you hit this little valley called Star Valley. And it's basically set on a ranch, a beautiful ranch, and that this wealthy family owns. And my heroine is the caretaker of the ranch. She's not the foreman, but she's the caretaker. And she ends up bringing her twin niece and nephew to live with her for Christmas, just for temporary. There's a family emergency. And then the family who owns the ranch all come home unexpectedly. And there she is with these twins that she wasn't supposed to have there. So anyway, it's lots of fun. And there's romance, of course. And then there's a kind of a secondary romance. That one is a reunion, the main story, and then there's a secondary, two people that they've met.
That sounds very, very, very fun. Okay, Miss Brenda, how about you?
Yes, I have an addition to my Silver Spring series. I've really enjoyed writing my Silver Spring series because I love wounded heroes. And it centers on a school that is a boarding school for children who need some extra support and help, or have gotten in trouble with the law or been abandoned or, taken in orphans. And so it's given me a plentiful supply of these heroes who need lots of love and women to make them whole, and they find their, the one that they love and spend their life with. So this one is Seth, which is Ayana's son. She's the person who founded the school, and he has lost his wife recently. So after climbing out of a dark background, he found happiness, achieved it, and lost her right away. So it was a huge setback for him and his growth. Ayana's very worried about him, but I have the perfect heroine shows up for him, and she is house sitting at an estate where he ends up in the main house. She's in the guest house, and so it was fun to throw them together and see the sparks fly.
Oh, very fun. We all love a good Christmas romance, I tell you. And Nancy, what's in the pipeline for you?
I have 2 pre-orders right now. The Shell Collector will be out in hardcover large print on September 8th. So in that format, and then A Heartfelt Christmas Promise actually came out last year, but it'll be for the first time in mass market, available September 28th. And for anybody who hasn't read that story, if reel back your mind to 2013 and 2014 and the Super Bowl commercials, and remember the Budweiser commercials with that cute little yellow puppy who kept getting into trouble and that gorgeous horse trainer. They were the inspiration for A Heartfelt Christmas Promise. It was such a fun book to write. And a gal is coming to town to try to shut down the fruitcake factory, but there's a lot more in that town going on than she thought in the beginning. So I hope people will take a little break and snuggle up with that cute little puppy and that handsome horse trainer.
We always love puppies, and who doesn't like a handsome
and
horse?
he's right on the cover.
Oh, too fun, very fun. Well, I'm excited for my Christmas. I usually don't have a favorite book. I may have a couple that I really like, but this one I think is my new favorite book. It's my homage to Dickens, and I'm just in love with this book, said she modestly. It's fabulous. Anyway, but this is it. A Little Christmas Spirit. And we all know how Dickens got haunted by all those ghosts to get his act together. Well, I have a bit of a Scrooge, Mr. Stanley man, and he's a widower, and he has yet to find his Christmas spirit. And so he does get a bit of a haunting, and it's he's a widower, so it's his wife who haunts him and is constantly on him to get it together, get his Christmas spirit, remember that he still has a life to live. And I just had a really fun time with this book. He ends up kind of mentoring a young lady, single mom, who moves in next to him and kind of being a father figure to her son. And all of this is very reluctant. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever read the book, A Man Named Uwe, and this guy who's just reluctant to get involved in people's lives, and people keep dumping their lives on him. And this poor guy is just, one way or the other, this poor man's going to have to find his Christmas spirit, because everybody keeps dropping into his life, from the woman next door to this dog who needs a home, and on it goes. So Stanley Man is going to get his Christmas spirit this year. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about that book. I'm hoping it will find a home with a lot of readers and people will love it. So that's what's around the corner for me. So, and I think that sums up everything we wanted to talk about in this point of time. If we have some questions or anybody would like to make a comment, I'm sure the girls would happy to be answered. I always tell people, I'll tell you everything but my weight and my age. And by the way, don't believe everything on Google. According to Google, I think I'm 89 or some ridiculous.
But you look
Sure,
marvelous.
Sheila, sure.
I'm like, I don't want to be there. Quit rushing me. Anyway, so I'm not as old as I look. I just want that known. As old as I look on Google.
I have two questions for Brenda. The
Yeah.
first one is, Brenda, what is the title of the Christmas book? It's about Seth, but I didn't catch a title.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe my mind is so blown I didn't mention it. It's called Keep Me Warm at Christmas.
Thank you.
He's a bit of a
And
Scrooge, so definitely he needs somebody to keep him warm at Christmas.
My second question, you mentioned the Amos brothers. Are you please going to do a story on Grady?
I would love to. So that's definitely coming eventually. I just don't know when. So
That's
we'll
okay, but
definitely
it
get
is
back to Grady
coming?
too. I
That's
don't know
good
when.
news.
Yeah.
I don't care, as long as it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. He was a
Thank you.
bit of a grump in this last book. So I was
Well, he's
surprised how
so
many people are
lonely.
asking for his book, because I thought, oh, they're not going to like Grady much anymore, but he had a good reason for it, right?
That's right, absolutely. Thank you, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
So there's one question that I think that's gone into chat that you could all answer. Random question for all the authors. What's your favorite beach location to visit? I know a couple of you mentioned it, but why don't you go down the line and tell people your favorite beach?
Go for it,
I
girls.
already said Outer Banks, so I think somebody else can go.
Yeah, I love the California beaches for sure, but actually the ones I like are probably the ones that other people wouldn't agree with. I like the Northern California beaches, and it's because they're very atmospheric, and you've got these black craggy rocks, and you got the surf just pounding up and hitting it. Like I love to go to Gualala and up toward Fort Bragg, and I see Cheryl nodding. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. And there's something about those areas for me just are really exciting and atmospheric and stimulating. And so I prefer those to the warm sandy beaches down south. So maybe I'm weird.
Sheila?
I think I pretty much, I'm a Washington girl, and every time I'm in California, I get allergies. And so I prefer our beaches up here. They're not exactly warm California beaches sometimes, but you know what? In a storm, there is nothing like a beach, like being on the beach on the Washington coast. So I think I'm with Brenda. I think I like a little bit of atmosphere.
RaeAnne?
I'm not really a lay on the beach person, although if I have a book, I'm great with that too. So I'm the same. My favorites are in Oregon. I love the Oregon coastline. We've had a couple of really memorable family trips where we've, started at the top and driven all the way down and find gorgeous beaches all the way down there. It's just stunning.
Yeah. And I will say the Sea Ranch, Mendocino area, my family had a house at Sea Ranch for many years. It's absolutely stunning. The
It
wild
is.
Sonoma coast. I love Carmel, where I spent summers as a girl. And then I love Stinson Beach, which is just, 30 minutes from me as well. So it is cold though. I also lived in Florida and I spent a lot of time in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. And I love those beaches too. The white
Oh, yeah.
sand, the warm water.
Yeah, those are real beaches where you can just walk in and you don't even feel almost the water. It's not cold at all. I mean, it's just right room temperature.
Yes.
Exactly. I don't know if there are a lot of other questions. I'm kind of scrolling through here. Lots of compliments. I just cannot thank Sheila. Thank you so much for orchestrating this and putting together the great trivia quiz about the beach and the sand, and to RaeAnne and to Brenda and to Nancy. It's so much fun in the summer. My two favorite times, summer, when everyone wants beach reading. Okay. Everybody wants beach reading. And we have a whole shelf. We have shelves, 2 whole shelves of your books and other books that are like my staff and my favorite beach reads, because they're just great. They're wonderful. They're heartwarming, and they're a beach book.
Well, you have a lovely store, Cheryl. For those who haven't been, you have to go down and see not only her store, but the little town. And then where her store is located has an amazing view. I've been lucky enough to actually get to tour it with her. And she is just delightful and the greatest hostess you can imagine.
Thank you, Brenda. And if you go to Brenda's website or my website, you can see the interview she did with me and the tour of my store, which was wonderful. So thank you for that. But we're going to have most of these ladies, I think, back in December, because my second time after beach reading are holiday books and Christmas books, and you all have one, I think. And I forget the date we're doing. It's in early December, but when I follow up with everyone, I'll put that date in, so you know that. And I'm going to get you a video recording. I know a lot of you came in late, but you'll be able to see what you missed. And we'll pick the door prize winners. And I just can't begin to thank this great group of authors. I'm just so much gratitude for your being here with us. And there are people, I made a list of where everybody's from, and they're like 50 different, almost from every state and Canada. So it's, I love in-person events, and we're migrating to those, but this is so remarkable and so inspirational to have people from all over the country to be able to come together and share everything. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you for hosting us
Yes.
again, Cheryl. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's come. I apologize. I had to do this in a car. So hopefully you'll forgive me. It was just a difficult time, but at least I was able to come, and I'm super excited that I got to.
We're happy we're able to make it, and I apologize. I know we had a few questions come in a little bit late, so sorry we didn't get to all your questions. But Cheryl, we want to thank you again for hosting us so much. It's been just lovely, and we will definitely have to do it again. I know there'll be more beach reads around the corner, and hey, who knows? Maybe by next year we'll actually be able to go places in person, and that will be open completely. So we'll hope.
Well, keep writing, ladies, and everybody else keep reading.
Thank
And
Bye,
you so much. We
everyone.
love y'all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.